सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We are seeing a very beautiful mantra in Mundaka Upanishad, the story about the two birds, the Jivatma, the Paramatma. And this Jivatma, Paramatma is a adhikarana which is actually taken in Brahma Sutra, and it is based upon this very beautiful mantra discusses this Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vruksham Parishasva Jate Tayoranya Pippalam Swaduvatti Anashnan Anyo Abhijakashiti. In this simile over here, two birds perched on a tree. One sits on a higher branch as a witness. The other one on the lower branch eats various swadu annamatti. It eats various fruits, and as per one's own prarabdha, some fruits are sour, some fruits are sweet, and it enjoys these fruits, and until it sees a sour one, it spits it out and it starts to ponder, what am I doing here? Who am I? And that is the plight of the jiva, that when everything is going fine, we never question. But only when we run into obstacles in our life, when we are tortured and tormented by our own karmas in our life, when they take us on a path which is difficult to tread, it is at that time we question the ephemeral nature of life, we question the ephemeral nature of the universe itself, and we question what is immortality and how can this amrutatvam be attained. So this is a story of all of us, In this tree of body dwells these two birds. The higher one is none other than the Absolute Self, and the lower one is a reflection. They are inseparable birds, and these birds, they have a unique experience, and we saw that in the first paragraph. Dva dvau suparna suparno shobhana patano suparno pakshi samanyadva suparno sayuja sayujo sahaiva sarvada yuktau sakhaya sakhayau samanam samana akhyano samana अभिव्यक्ति कारणम एवं भूतो संतो समानम अविशेषम उपलब्धि अधिष्ठान एकम वृक्षम वृक्षमिव उच्छेदन सामान्यात् शरीरम वृक्षम परिशस्व जाते परिशस्व उक्तौ परिशस्वक्तवन्तौ सुपर्णा विवेकं वृक्षं फलः उपभोगार्थम. We saw all this, and most of it Shankaracharya ji is correcting dva dvau suparna suparno, all those things, that they are sakhayo, they are friends. And samanam akhyano, it is the two of them are more than friends, they are actually samana. They are, one is a reflection of the other. It is in the reflection, the reflective pool of the mind and the intellect, the ahankar exists as a reflection, and that's why over here samana akhyano samana abhivyakta karanam evam bhuto, they are, the one is the cause of the other, and being the cause they both are inseparable. In that way, being that reflection, they are avishesham upalabdhi adhisthana ekam vruksham. The uniqueness is they both appear on the same body, and they have to, because the reflection can only take place in a reflective pool. The upadhi of the body is required. The upadhi of the subtle body dwells in the gross body, and because of that, Eka upalabdhi sthanam, in one place you find both of them, because without the subtle body we will not have the reflection. In this way, vruksham iva uchchedana shariram vruksham. Why is it called vruksham? Because it can be uchchedana, it can be chopped off. This tree can be chopped off, this body can be chopped off by proper knowledge, like Bhagavan Krishna also says that asanga shastrena dridhena chitva, by the acts of asangata, the acts of vairagya, we can remove this tree. Mentally, this ego can walk away from the upadhi, and the only way it can walk away is in knowledge. It can walk away and find that exit plan, and in this way both of them, vruksham phala upabhogartham, and also it is called vruksha. One, it can be destroyed. Second, it is a place where all the karmic debt can be enjoyed. Over here it is said phala, karma phala, the fruits of all these vasanas accumulated. It requires a medium through which the karmic debt can be enjoyed. when the jiva passes on and the jiva has not reached the higher world and it has lost this body, the jiva's karmic debt is sealed. It cannot enjoy. It needs this bhoga ayatanam shariram. It is a definition in Tattvabodh, that a counter through which a transaction is transacted and it can be enjoyed. So because of that, it is called vruksha, where fruits are available, because the fruits don't just pop up. The fruits arrive in the proper season. The flowers arrive first, then the flower has to be pollinated, the flower has to disappear, and the fruit arrives. And some fruits, a worm may come in and destroy the fruit, and some fruits will not ripe properly. Some fruits will ripe very well and it will have a different taste. So the same tree will have a variety of, it is still a mango, it is still an apple, but we will have some apple which is deformed, it doesn't have taste, some apple which is a nest of a wasp, some apples which are good in taste. All those things, all depending upon prarabdha. And in the same way, in our life, we also have prarabdha. Even the identical twins born same place, same home, same parents, same time, everything same, two of them will be different. Why? Prarabdha. And that is why vruksham. Ayam hi vruksha urdhva mula avakshakha ashvatha avyakta mula prabhavaha kshetra sanyakaha. Shankaracharya ji takes this idea again from Bhagavad Gita, that ayam hi vruksha, this, what is this vruksha? This is Urdhva Mula Vakshakha. Just like in 15th chapter we are seeing on Sundays, the tree is, the roots are rooted up above in consciousness and the branches are below. Understand that to be the tree of samsara. Don't actually be looking for a tree with two birds. That is what he is saying, that this is actually a kalpana. It is a simile presented of a tree, and this tree, ashvatha avyaktam. Avyaktam moolam, the roots are in the avyaktam, it is in the unmanifest, it is not available to see. Why? Because it's in consciousness, it is not seen. Even the tree is growing on the bhuloka, the roots are inside the earth and the roots are not seen. But the very fact that the tree is healthy, it is assumed that the roots are doing very well and fine. So in this way, ashvatha avyakta mula prabhavaha, this unmanifest root has power, prabhavaha, kshetra sanyakaha, it is known as kshetra. Again, the 13th chapter talked about kshetra and kshetrajna, the field and the knower of the field. So this body becomes the field, and in this field exists these two birds, and one of them is knower of the field. Sarva prani karma phala ashrayastvam parishasva uktau suparna aviva avidya kama karma vasana shraya linga upadhi atma ishvarau. So Shankaracharya ji says, one is atma, which atma? Jivatma, and the other one is Ishwar. So one is a Jivatma and the other one is Ishwar. It is this Ishwar that ordains the entire world of multiplicity. It is this Ishwar that ordains this entire field, and this entire field sarva prani karma phala ashrayatvam. This field is available for all different types of animals, and all these animals they dwell on this tree, and each one of them have their own unique tree. And in each one of these unique trees, it is page 101. So this unique tree is available for all, and each one of them, the unique tree, exists in a great vast expanse of creation, and each one of them are only Kama, Karma, Vasna, Ashraya, Linga Upadhi. Linga Upadhi, this is called Linga Sharira. Upadhi, a particular locus where it exists. So in this Linga Upadhi, in this subtle body, the reflection of Ishvara creates this Jiva. And this Jiva is created for what? The Jiva is ordained by its own blueprint. And the blueprint is the exhaustion of avidya, kama, karma. We saw the three granthis. Vidyate hridaya granthi, the three knots of the heart, ignorance, avidya, kam and karma. Avidya created desire, and desire created actions, and actions create the karma phala, and these karma phalas are vasana. So all of them, avidya, kam, karma, vasana, ashraya, it is all taking a resort in there, where linga upadhi atma ishvaro tayoho parishu uktayoho anyaha ekakshetragnyah linga upadhi vruksha ashritaha pippalam karma nishpannam. Of these two, tayoho, parishu, of these two, one is perched on the tree. Uktayoho anya ekaha kshetragnaha, one is the knower of the field. Who is that? That is the Ishwar. The bird sitting on the higher branch is a simple witness. And as a witness, it witnesses all that happens, all that goes on. And in that witnesshood, it is only a witness, it doesn't participate. And the other one participates. Eka kshetragnyah linga upadhi vruksha ashritaha, the one which is dependent on the linga sharira. The consciousness is independent, it is not dependent upon the linga sharira, it is not dependent upon the subtle body. The consciousness is ever separated from here, and this consciousness, depending upon the linga sharira, creates the reflection, the jiva bhava. And what is this jiva bhava? Linga upadhi vruksha ashrita, depending upon the vruksha of the body, mind, intellect. Depending upon that, it ashrita pippalam, it sits over there. The name of the fruit, it eats the fruits. Eats the fruits meaning it enjoys the world of objects, emotions and thoughts. All the karma vasanas, whatever arrives in front of the jiva enjoys. Pippalam karma nishpannam, born out of karma. Karma nishpannam, it is all born out of karma. Sukha dukkha lakshanam phalam, And the fruits are always in two ways, either sukha or dukkha. Sukha dukkha lakshanam phalam, fruits. Swadu aneka vichitra vedana aswad rupa swadu atti. Aneka vichitra vedana, all different types of fruits born out of different conditions in different times. All those vichitra vedana aswad rupam, as though savoring the tastes of different experiences. Swadu, good food. Atti bhakshyati upabhungte avivekatah, without discrimination, avivekatah, it eats, laps up all the sukha and dukkha, and sometimes it enjoys. Bhungte over here we have to not just literally enjoys, meaning it enjoys sukha, and the experience born out of the joy is happiness. And enjoying sorrow, meaning lamenting and all those things, sorrows, we all know the different types of moods born out of sorrow. So anashnan anya itaraha ishwaraha, but the other one which doesn't eat is Ishvara, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta Swabhavaha, Sarvagnya, Sarva Sattva Upadi Ishvara, Na Ashnati. The other one doesn't eat. Why does it not eat? Because it does not depend on the objective reality for happiness. It is eternally Nitya, Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavaha. It is eternally, immaculately pure Buddha. It is full of knowledge of its own self as happiness. Mukta, and that experience is ever liberated. Swabhavaha, it is its nature. It is not a temporary condition. Over here the jiva is conditioned by upadhi, but the Ishvara is not conditioned. It is swabhava, it is its nature. Sarvagnya, he is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, that all knower, all at once. So you can see, even though it is a witness, but it is all knower witness. It knows everything. Sarvagnya, Sarva Satta Upadi Ishvaraha, and he is the Ishvara of all. Sarva Satta Ishvara. And even though in this body, yet Sarva Satta Ishvara, and that is this Ishvara na ashnati, and it does not eat the karmic debt. It does not eat the fruits born out of karmas. It does not enjoy any of the vasanas. The vasanas cannot touch Paramatma. And in this way, Ishvara is ever separate. Prerayita hiyasau ubhayaha bhojya bhoktru nitya sakshitu satta matrena. But without this Ishwar, the little poor jiva cannot enjoy. This Ishwar provides the very sentiency for this jiva to enjoy. Prerayita, it is the cause of this one, this jiva, to move about in this pluralistic world. Prerayita, it initiates. How does it initiate? It lends its sentiency to the ahankar. Always remember, Ahankar is an admixture of Jada Prakriti and Chetana Ishvara. It is mutually superimpositioning which is happening. So this Jiva has the nature of the Prakriti, and the nature of the Prakriti is limitation. The limitations born out of mind, limitations born out of intellect, limitations born out of the body. So the ego has a limited scope, but the ego is not dead like the equipment. The ego is alive because the ego gets also the sentiency from consciousness. So being sentient and being jada, both, this ego has a unique expression born out of anyo anya adhyas, mutual superimpositioning of Prakriti and Purusha, creating a fictitious Ahankar, an Asura name Ahankar. And Satta Matrena, this consciousness, Satta Matrena, as a very witness and lending its presence, that presence is consciousness, it's Satta. Because of that, ego bounces and ego comes alive in this equipment. Bhojya Bhokta, so Bhoktrutva, Aham Bhokta, all that bhavana is born. Karta, Kartrutva bhavana, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, all that enjoyership, Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva, the doership and the enjoyership is right over here. It is there because this lends its sentiency. Now the jiva comes alive, but the other one is just sakshi. Sa tu anashnan anyaha abhichakashiti pashyati eva kevalam. And the Ishwar watches that poor jiva go through everything. What can the Ishwar do? The Ishwar is ever separated. The Ishwar knows that it's a reflection. The reflection gets self-deluded. Deluded by what? The limitations of the Prakriti. Deluded by what? Its own vasanas. Deluded by what? The fascination born out of the external world. All these things hammer on the ego, and the ego forgets that it is a reflection of consciousness. And having forgotten, the samsara of the jiva starts, but Paramatma abhichakashiti pashyati eva kevalam. He only watches, he only watches, and he only watches. Darshana matram hi tasya prerayitrutvam rajavat. He observes like a king presiding over a kingdom. His decisions are made by different people. His ministers come over there and ask, this is what needs to be done, do it then. He just sits over there, wears his Raj Mukut and enjoys the kingship. But because of him, the whole kingdom works. Like that, Rajavat Sada. Now, this jiva has to get fed up. How much can it eat? Sukha and dukkha. There has to be an end to this sukha and dukkha. The story cannot go on and on and on. In this one shloka, a snapshot of the jiva is taken. But you have to imagine, this jiva has been doing the same thing, taking a tree, chopping the tree, taking the tree for so many lives at a time. In reality, no change. It enjoys and it suffers. This sukha and dukkha, it continues. It continues. So, continuing. Samane vrukshe purusho nimagnaha.
Samane vrukshe purusho nimagnaha.
Anishaya shochati muhyamanaha.
Anishaya shochati muhyamanaha.
Jushtam yada pashyati yam. Jushtam yada pashyati anisham. Oh, sorry. Jushtam yada pashyati anyamisham. Asya mahimanam iti vita shokaha.
Asya mahimanam iti vita shokaha.
Jushtam yada pashyati anyamisham. I was not splitting it correctly. Sorry. Samane vrukshe purusha nimagnaha. Purushaha samane vrukshe nimagnaha. On the same tree, this purusha nimagnaha, it is drowning. Anishaya muhyamanaha shochati. See that consciousness reflecting in this pool of mind and intellect creates a reflection, perceiver, feeler, thinker, jiva. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I see myself and I see my reflection, and imagine how weird it would be if that reflection started saying, I am different from you. I am my own being. I am limited by the mirror. If that reflection starts owning up the condition of the mirror and behaving as though it is of the mirror, by the mirror, for the mirror, then that poor person who is watching and who is seeing the reflection own up madness, what can he do? He will allow that reflection to own up the madness, because he knows he is different from reflection. It is only a reflection, and the reflection has no independent existence apart from him. It is only because the real stuff stands in front of the mirror, there can be a reflection inside the mirror. So that Purushaha, that absolute being, Samane Vruksha, in that same tree, in this example of the mirror, in front of the mirror, then Samane Vrukshe Nimagnaha, it starts owning up, drowning. Anishaya, and that reflection all of a sudden says, I am this bichara person. My life is in the mirror, by the mirror, and for the mirror. That is called Anishaya. That I have no Lord. It has owned up the reality of the mirror. If that mirror is really old, the back, mercury vapor created film, when it starts erasing, even the reflection will have scratches in it. So it says, I have scratches on me. And if the mirror is not cleaned for some years, it has dust on it. It says, I am dirty, I have dust. If the mirror has a crack on it, he says, I am broken. So the condition of the entire mirror, the reflection starts owning up. And what would be the plight of the reflection when it owns up the reflective conditions? It would be pitiable. And the one who is standing in front of the mirror will look at it and just laugh. Because there is no way this person can help that reflection. The only way is the reflection has to know, I am not reflection, I am in fact you. That is all. Samane vrukshe purusho nimagnaha. That same consciousness in that tree, it started drowning. How did it start drowning? By owning up the conditions of the tree. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm educated, I'm not educated, I'm rich, I'm poor, I have horrible prarabdha, I have very good prarabdha. God knows what I did in all those lives to get this type of husband, wife, this, that, all kinds of bakwas it started projecting. All this is the story of the jivahood. It is the story of a reflection. So anishaya shochati, it laments. It laments at its own prarabdha. Muhyamana, and it self-deludes itself. And this is what happens. Yada, when, yada pashyati isham jushtam yada pashyati anyam isham jushtam asya mahimanam iti vitashokaha. I'm doing the prose order so the sentence can fit and we can understand. Yada, when, which time? When the jiva wakes up, when the reflection gets fed up of the reflective life. Over here in this example of the tree, when the jiva gets fed up of the tree life. What is the tree life? Samsaric life. So yada anyam isham pashyati, that little bird sitting below looks up and says, oh, there is another bird. The lower bird looks at the higher bird. This one is eating, this one is not eating. When it looks at anyam isham, when he sees yada anyam isham jushtam pashyati asya mahimanam iti, not only does he see, but it comes to know its mahima. It comes, the jiva, when it looks up and sees the higher consciousness, and it sees the higher consciousness as consciousness and the glory of the consciousness as all knower, all wise, when it sees that Vita Shokaha. And it is said that this jiva becomes devoid of sorrow. This is all the mantra says, but we have to fill in the details. And Shankar Bhashya for this is beautiful. His detail are absolutely amazing. Samane vrukshe yatha ukta sharire. So, he gets right to it. He said, what is the samana vrukshe? As talked about the tree of the last mantra. This tree of the equipment. Yatha ukta sharire. Purushaha. Purushaha, which Purusha is talked about over here? Bhokta jiva avidya kam karma phala rag adi guru bhar akranta alaburiva samudre jale nimagnaha. Ahahaha. He just shredded the jiva to pieces. He says, who is this jiva? This jiva avidya kam karma phala. This born out of ignorance, desire and action, and the fruits born there out of it, guru bhar akrantaha. And with guru over here is not teacher, guru bhar with heavy weight. Guru means heavy. Guru and lagu. Lagu means light, guru is heavy. So with heavy weight on its shoulders, it is dragging its feet in this world. Alaburiva samudre jale. It is dragging its feet in samudra. And the more it drags the feet, the samudra starts getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. When a person starts walking from the shore into the ocean, in how many feet does he start drowning? In matter of just 10 feet, the ocean takes a dive. In 60 to some 100 feet in San Diego, the ocean takes 6,000 feet dive. The California plate ends over there, and it is just, and you see the color of the water, deep blue. It is nice color, and all of a sudden you don't see, it's a black water. All of a sudden, just in few feet, it just takes a dive. The same thing for a jiva. It starts drowning in this ocean. And what is the reason for its drowning? Rag adi. Likes and dislikes. Creating the samsaric life of ragadi, samudre jala nimagnaha, nishchayena deha atma bhava apannaha, ayam eva aham amushya. This jiva owns up, nishchayena, with firm decision, deha atma bhav, I am the body, deha apanna, owning up perfectly that I am this, nishchayena apanna, ayam eva aham, and I alone am. I alone am. I am this body. Other than me, there is nothing. Ayam mama putra, this is my child. Napta, this is my jati, kula, dharma, gotra, all those things. Krusha, sthulaha, I am skinny, I am fat. Gunavan, I have these qualities. Gunavan, nirgunaha, and I have these qualities. And these qualities that I have, indescribable, meaning self-glory, that I am such a person. Sukhi dukhi iti evam pratyayaha na asti Anyaha asmad iti jayate mriyate sanyujyate viyujyate cha sambandhi bandhavaihi. With all the bandhas, sarva bandhavaihi, with all the relatives, he unites and he disunites at the end of the life. And in this way, he gets united with every birth. There is a mother and a father. Every birth there are grandparents. Even a cockroach, tata pati are there. In every birth he is united with bandhavaihi, with all these, and then that becomes the samsar. That these are my family members, these are my children, bharya mama, putra mama, this is my wife, these are my children, and this becomes the samsar. This is the definition of purushaha. Shankaracharya ji, one word, purushaha nimagnaha. That purusha, consciousness, drowning, where sharire, in this body, this story of this entire jiva. We buy so many autobiographies. The New York Times bestseller, one paragraph, he summarized all autobiographies of all times, of all people. This is this deha. Other than this, nasti anyaha asmad iti deha. There is nothing greater than this body. So many people have said that. I am so great. Anybody who writes autobiography, they are full of themselves. That's why they have to write it. So he says that there is nothing other than this body. What is this autobiography? It's a story of the body. What more have we done? Ataha anishaya na kasyachit samarthaha aham putra mama vinashtaha mrutaha me bharya kim me jivanena iti evam dina bhavaha anishaya taya shochita santapyate muhyamane. Now when he says anishaya, that I don't have a Lord, that I don't have any power. Basically he doesn't have anishaya, I don't have control, I don't have power. Why? Na kasyachit samartham aham. I am not good, others are controlling me. Putra mama, how long will I control my child? Until the 13, 14, 15 years come. And then appa, you sit down, I'm telling you what to do. That same child that we've told will start controlling, and then I will feel in my own home I'm anishaya. Putra mama vinashtaha. And that story of Gokarna and Atmadev, that poor Atmadev, tormented by his own son Dhundukari, and the other one is Gokarna, a divine boy and a Rakshas, another one. Bichara, he got fed up and he left that home. And the mother committed suicide because such a horrible praja. So, vinashtaha mruta me bharya. My wife has died, what will I do? Kim me jivitena iti evam. What is the purpose of life now? What am I going to do? Wife is gone, child is gone, I have no control over anything. Iti evam dina bhavena. Self-lamenting and say, oh, poor me, wanting others to sympathize. Shankaracharya ji has no sympathy for such a person. He says, it's your creation, what can I do? So he says, dina bhavaha anishaya shochati, he grieves, laments, santapyate, and suffers because of one's own lack of thinking, muhyamane, deluded, अनेक अनर्थ प्रकारैहि अविवेकतया चिंताम आपद्यमानः. Shankaracharya muhyamane, deluded. How? Anek he said, except for proper knowledge, all types of crooked knowledge. Anek anartha prakaraihi avivekataya, born out of ignorance and indiscrimination, owns up anything and everything. Today he hears about this, that becomes his reality. Tomorrow the next door neighbor says, "Arey, I went over here, this is what that becomes a reality for the next 2-3 weeks. Like this, all types of garbage this person surrounds themselves with, and this becomes the life of that person. This avivekataya chintam apadyamanaha. He owns it all up. Apadyamana, manaj pratyaya use. He lives this ignorance. There is no relief for such a person. Sa evam preta tiryag manushya adi yonishu ajavanam. Ahaha, that same jiva, life ends one, another one continues. Preta. Some people, their desires are not complete. And there is a tug of war with Yama, Dharmaraj and Jiva. But Yama has to do what he has to do. He comes with his Parshadas, pulls the Jiva out. But the Jiva did not want to come out. What will happen? Preta Yoni. So, this possessed and all sorts of things, there are people, and then they prey upon others because they have to, that yoni is unsatisfied. That's why a special time of Chotanikara you have to go. What to do? Preta. He must have gone to Chotanikara. That's why he's from there, so he knows. Preta, tiryag, animal life, manushyadi, and anything in between, and even manushya. Ajavanam jiva bhavam apannaha kadachit aneka janmasu. All these different births, different ajavanam. God knows starting from where this jiva has come, what all yonis, what all births. We have this human birth, we don't know. Some good karmas brought us in this human birth. And in this human birth, to have Upanishad in our hand and sit 6 o'clock in the morning in this room and wanting to do something about the human birth and making a exit, that is rare. Now he will address that kadachit aneka janmashu shuddha dharma sanchit nimittaha. Kitne janmon ke baad, after so many births, Shuddha Dharma, walking the life of proper Dharma, it gave birth to Sanchit Karma. It started making deposits in the Sanchit, the bank of Sanchit Karma, all good that we have done. Nimittaha, and that became the cause. Aneka chitta parama karunika darshita yoga marga, and because of the bank balance of sanchit karma accumulated of so many births in this one human birth, this kenachit, we don't know how, but we attained Paramakarunika karunikena darshitena, a guru was found. Darshita yoga margena. And that guru gives this yoga marg, this exit plan from this prakriti to this purusha. Yoga marga ahimsa satya brahmacharya sarvatyaga shama dama adi sampanna समाहितात्मा सन जुष्टम सेवितम अनेक योग मार्गैः कर्मभिः च यदा यस्मिन् काले पश्यति ध्यायमानः अयं वृक्षः उपाधिलक्षणाद् विलक्षणम् ईशम् असंसारिणम् अशनायाः पिपासा शोक मोह जरा मृत्यु अतीतम् ईशं सर्वस्य जगतः अयम् अहम् अस्मीति आत्मा सर्वस्य. This jiva, because of the guru, walked the path of ahimsa, satya, brahmacharya, walked the path of righteousness, non-injury, control of the senses, shama, dama, upariti, titiksha, sampanna, acquiring that samahitatma, and this antakarana very well placed, samyak ahita, taking it to a better place, meaning cleaning it up, this, and समाहितात्मा संजुष्टम सेवितम अनेक योग मार्गैः. And then this clean antakarana, I took it to this yog marga, different ones, but then finally one came to this upasana margaihi. With that, karma bihi cha yada yasmin kale pashyati, and when the karmas fructify, in that kala pashyati, that same jiva in the same equipment, it sees the higher. I am that. Aham asmiti. That I am that. And aham sarvagnya. I am the Lord of all. That same anishaya muhyamana, the same jiva which felt limited, now the jiva experiences omniscience, omnipresence. Where? Over here itself. Having realized that sarva bhutastha aham iti na itara avidya janita upadi parichinna maya atma iti vibhuti vibhutim mahimanam cha jagat rupam. I am not this other bird pakshi. I am something greater. Having realized that swamahimna vibhutim, it will realize one's own glory, and in this way it comes to realize that aham parameshwaram iti, I am this Parameshwara. Parameshwarasya iti yada evam drashta tada vita shokah bhavati sagarad vipramuchyate kruta kruta bhavati ityarthaha. This jiva comes out of this ocean, this sinking in this ocean of samsara, it comes out and kruta krutya bhavati, it becomes fulfilled, and then dances with joy of realization, I am that, I am that. And in this way, one shloka, one mantra described the whole jivahood. The second mantra described how to come out of the jivahood. Now when it comes out of the jivahood, what does it experience? The glory of Atma, So beautiful strokes are pointed out over here again. Fantastic mantras for meditation. But these two mantras very beautifully describe the Jiva and Paramatma. Actually, these are the mantras from where Shankaracharya ji comes up with, Atma Bodh, Tattva Bodh, these Prakana Grantha. Because complete understanding, it is not that, he is creating his own thing, it is based upon Shastra. So based upon this is just the summary of the whole Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh in two mantras. He takes these and expands for proper understanding. What is mana, what is buddhi, what is chitta, what is ahankara. It is not explicitly said. In the Upanishadic Rishi, it is revealed, and the Rishi shares it with the students, and then the students ask questions, what does this mean? And the Rishi explains. But he only writes down what is revealed. So the gaps are too many, and the gaps are filled by Prakarana Grantha. So the Sringeri Acharya, Vidyaranya Swamiji, Panchadashi, in 15 chapters, some 1800 shlokas, what is in these two, he summarizes. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.